God created the heavens and the earth. And God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. Adam and Eve had the sun, the moon, and all the stars as the sources of light on earth. But mankind, as time went by, discovered and invented man-made sources for light, from fire and electric power. One of the earliest means of bringing light amidst the dark was with the help of candles. Even today, candles remain a vital part in the lives of people belonging to various cultures. There are various types of candles with different makes, shapes, sizes, and scents. Let's see how they are made. Candles were primarily made from tallow and beeswax in ancient times, but have been made from the heads of sperm whales and purified animal fats. The world's oldest known candle is believed to be over 5,000 years old and was discovered in Egypt, and it was made from beeswax. Present-day candles are made using paraffin wax. It is very inexpensive compared to other raw materials used to make wax in the primitive era. James Young, born in 1811, revolutionized energy production with oil distillation. His innovations led to mass-produced paraffin wax, essential for candle making, among other industries. Paraffin wax is derived from crude oil through distillation, deoiling, and crystallization. So we are here at Hayes Finch, one of the finest manufacturers and suppliers of church furnishing, located in Liverpool in the United Kingdom.
We've been making candles in Liverpool since 1882. The demand for candles in churches ranges throughout the year depending on the ceremonial activity within the church and the time of year. So a big time of year is Easter, so we make a lot of Paschal candles and candles for to go in the churches for all the ceremonies at that time of year. So that's a huge part of the year. Also Christmas and Advent is a major part of our business. So we have two very big parts of the year where Christmas and Easter are the main parts of where we get a lot of our business. A candle isn't just something that you burn, it means something far more than that to many people. So within the church, obviously they're very symbolic of various happenings of bringing light into the world and hope, and they have a very special meanings to people in the start of their lives and towards the end of their lives. So for example, we make baptismal candles, so there's a very important part, a symbolic part of that process of joining the Christian community. And obviously when people have sad moments in their lives and they have a vigil, we make special candles for those moments which capture that essence of being a human and being a Christian. And that's more than just burning a candle, it's symbolic of their prayer, their beliefs, and the light that those candles symbolize bringing into their lives.
The whole process starts by everything coming into our raw materials warehouse, from base cotton that produces the wick to our number of different waxes that we use throughout the processes, whether it's press wax or extrusion wax, pouring wax, paraffin wax, beeswax, lots of different waxes. Each element of the raw materials is brought together in different departments to start producing the candles. A wick is the part of a candle which is lit. It keeps the flame alive as it touches the fuel of the wax. So there's many different types of wicks, from waxed wick, braided wick, wooden wicks, but essentially the wick is what makes our candle. When we look at the candle, the flame is the wick on fire. Once the cottons have been bleached and solutioned, they are then left to dry for 2 to 3 days before being transferred onto a more usable size bobbin for us. We then place them onto the machines, and the machines are put into different sizes to allow us to have different gauge sizes for different size candles. They are then woven together, and braiding is produced from top to bottom on the machines. A cut-to-length wick is a coated waxed wick which is fed through the back of a machine to whichever length we decide to cut it on, whether it be 30mm, 60mm, all the way up to 120, 150mm lengths. It's automated, so as the wick feeds through the machine, a sustainer, which is a metal foot that supports the wick, drops down, it feeds the wick through the middle of the sustainer, and then it's crimped, cut to the length we need it to be, and then passed off the machine, ready for the next step.
A lot of our machinery is modern, but a lot of what we rely on is also been with us and around since the 1940s, and it's still going very strong. So we have a lot of machinery which works to help us make wick for different types of candles, and which has been with us going for since the 1940s, and it is still very reliable. And I've got a team of people who specialise in making making wicks using those machines. A lot of the other machinery was been with us, which is very traditional, like making hand-dipped candles, for example, and there's very simple methods to do that. But a lot of that machinery requires a lot of skill to use and a lot of knowledge to make sure that machine runs correctly and we're producing very high quality candles all the time.
Did you know? Lighting a candle near your window is a common Christmas tradition that dates back to the time of Catholic persecution in Ireland. The lit candles placed by the windows were said to be signals to priests that the house was a safe place to celebrate the Mass.
So our wax is brought in by tanker form, so it comes in liquid form to us, which is then offloaded at our loading docks and transferred into specially heated silos. The wax is then kept at a temperature between 65 to 70 degrees to keep it liquid, and also to stop it oxidizing. This is where the wax gets too hot and discoloration appears to the wax, and then it becomes unusable or burns poorly. We then will transfer the waxes, depending on which wax we want to use, to different mixing tanks across site where we can use it to blend and add our additives to it, ready for the candle machines. So the core room is where we produce solid blocks of wax to be used in either a finished candle or part of a component of that candle. The whole process starts from our liquid wax being blended to the correct recipe that is needed for the job, which is then transferred into our spray drums. A spray drum will then fire the hot liquid wax up into the air, which comes back down as a droplet onto a cooling drum. The cooling drum automatically turns the liquid back into powder form, which enables us to transfer it onto our core room for pressing. The powdered wax is dropped into the top of the press. Large wheels drive the press round, squashing the wax into the shape that we need it to be, leaving a hole in the middle. Core is a wax block which is in the shape of the die that the powdered wax is placed in. It then compresses the wax together while a pin is fed up the center of the wax, leaving a hole. As it comes off the machine, we're left with a solid block of wax with a hole in the middle, ready to be wick fed.
factory is very magical place because we turn something very simple like a liquid wax into something which is very symbolic and powerful within people's lives or within their churches and Christian festivals. Many of our team have been with us for over 40 years, and so they're very knowledgeable about how to make candles, and they've been here with us for a long time because they've a lot of very traditional skills and understand how to make candles in a very, very high quality way. And also they understand what goes into making it, from whether it be a type of wick they use, or whether it be the type of wax they use, the type of vessel we put it into it, or the location that the candle is used within a church. And they're very specialist in that knowledge, and hence we've got people who've been with us literally for 40 years who know making candles inside out.
Did you know? Jesus called himself the light of the world. The beloved Apostle John, in his Gospel, connects Christ with the imagery of light. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. In churches today, we light candles before a statue or sacred image of our Lord or a saint. The light signifies our prayer, which is offered in faith, entering the light of God. It also shows reverence and our desire to remain present in prayer, even as we continue our day.
So when you look at the two departments together, the wick and the core room, the product which is made when they all come together is a 24-hour light or a 12-hour light, 4-hour lights, 8-hour lights, all different sizes. The core and the wick are placed together before putting into a vessel for a finished product.
The moments when you use a candle in your lives often become very memorable, and my particular memory of a candle is when it was very basic requirement in our home. Back in the 1970s, we had an oil crisis in the UK and around the world, and people fell back on using basic, simple candles, that some of the types we make here, which gave them light in a house when they had no power. All they had was a candle to light their rooms. And that became very symbolic of a moment of light when it brought our family together in the same room, and we enjoyed our company, enjoyed the moments of that moment when no power was available apart from a simple but beautiful candle in the kitchen, which we all sat around and talked as a family.
Within the Roman Catholic Church, the liturgical celebrations of the Easter Vigil traditionally begins from the outside of the church, with the blessing of the fire by the priest and the lighting of the Paschal candle, which represents Christ the true light, and the smaller candles used by the faithful represent each individual Christian who strives to radiate Christ in their lives. The Exsultet, which is sung during this celebration, makes clear the victory of Christ and his light over gloom and darkness.
At the end of the day, when we finish making candles and we ship them out to our customers, it's great satisfaction when we see them lit in those very special moments of their Christian ceremonies in the churches or in chapels, because we know that we've put a lot of love and attention into making those candles to the best of our ability, so that they have those moments lit up, and that power of the light that those candles give is unlike any other light compared to an electric light or any other lamps, because it's so symbolic and emblematic of great hope in people's lives and moments they want to cherish and savor for the rest of their lives, or even just for that week. And it's a great satisfaction for all of us to have a great product in front of people.
There's something really beautiful about seeing so many candles lit, especially when you go into a place of worship and the candles are set out in remembrance for people that we've lost, and certain situations that we're trying to think and pray for. It's something very peaceful, very beautiful to see with people praying in front of the flames which are lit.